I read a comment on Instagram. It was a while ago now, but it's kind of lingered with me, and that happens sometimes. It said something like, dude, we just want the beach body. We don't want to have to go to the gym, right? And it got me thinking. If you really want to learn something, you kind of have to go through a bit of a process. You kind of got to do it, try it, take notes along the way, fail sometimes, be okay with that. Because in the big picture, you're getting better at it. And I think bread is one of those things you really got to kind of understand, and you take it into your life and you'll end up doing it regularly, especially if the state of modern bread where you live like it is here is atrocious. No offense meant. Across the board, as a whole, not everywhere, but for the most part, when you're making food at home, you can follow like a recipe for flapjack or a biscuit, possibly. Shortbread is a good one. Pretty much get to the end of the recipe and end up with what you should have ended up with. Yeah, it helps to have an understanding of the properties of what you're doing and why you're doing it, but I think it's more important when you're making bread, or we should put more emphasis on the understanding when we're making bread, and I think that's what makes it apart. That's what sets it apart from everything else. It's the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5 flapjacks. But with bread, it's the step 1, step 2, but you keep an eye on this, and I wonder if that will make a difference, and go with that and change that if it's warm. But these are the things that you learn by doing the thing. If you break down what I say in my videos, and you'll notice it, I always talk about it in here, class. If you break down everything I've said in my videos over the last however many years, oh my gosh, what I'm actually saying most of the time is give it a try, see what you think, take some notes, because you are your best teacher. Your experiences teach you the most. I'm just you with practice, and I try and communicate what I know in the best way possible for you to gain the understanding instead of telling you what to do. Because often in the telling of something, in the blanket statement, in the instruction without all the things around it, I don't learn that way, and I don't think that's a good way to communicate things, right? We live in a world where there's a wealth of recipes online in video form and in written form, blogs or whatever, and I see them and I look at them and I think, yes, but if the person doesn't know this recipe is going to be a failure, right? And they won't know why, and they'll blame the person that wrote the recipe. Go, I'm never doing that recipe again. This person, no good. It is within your own experiences that you begin to understand the limitations of the thing that you're making. If you got to pop out, some people come into class and they say, I was making bread the other day and I had to pop out for 2 hours and I completely forgot it was in there. I came back and I shaped it up and it puffed up. It was the tastiest bread I ever ate. Boom. That's where they learn. And this is why this is how the TV land works. Because people hit me with a question, I got hit with an answer like, bang, it's this. Bang, it's that. Sometimes it's a massive conversation. That's what happens here in class and in my videos. Yes, sometimes I've got to take a massive detour because that's how my brain will function. Got to discuss all the things around the thing before we get to the actual thing. Like the cut on the top of a baguette, on the top of your sourdough bread. A lot of the times people think, for example, that the deeper the cut, the better the burst. Oh, my loaf didn't burst very much. Next time I do the cut a little bit deeper. Don't do that. It's the opposite thing. Because you've got to talk about building structure along the way and doing the shaping and getting the tension and getting the right amount of puff and the volume increase in the oven that explodes out the cut that you made, not just the fact that you didn't cut it deep enough. That's the opposite. If you cut it deeper, it burst open less, but without having the conversations around it, we don't get to the point. Things like, why is the blade snagging on the top of my bread dough? It happens in here. Someone will hit you with an answer like, dip it in some flour, dip it in some water, change your blade for a fresh one every 2 loaves. Not helpful. It's about the movement, the swiftness of the movement and the practice, the pretend confidence you have when you go for your slice. Finding a beginning point and an end point and starting there and ending there. Pretending you're confident if you're not. This is why bread making is such a transformative journey, whereas making the flapjack is a flapjack, and I love flapjacks. Do it once, you pretty much bust it out the same every time. There's no journey. There's no evolution. Yes, I could pick answers out of a hat. And a lot of answers to your problems are there just to make you stop asking the question. Oh, just do that. Dip it in flour. Okay, thanks. Why is my thing sticking to the basket? Dust it with rice flour. Okay, thanks. See you later. It's not the full answer. So I will continue, if that's okay with you, to try and educate rather than just tell you a thing that's kind of flawed. If I give you the beach body without the work, it is of very little value in giving you the framework to be able to put the work in, to be able to understand, and to be able to actually achieve something by yourself. Yes and no. I don't go to the gym. That's how I learn anyway. That's how I learn the best. Someone fires an answer at me, it means nothing. I will need to understand why the thing is the thing, and then I can do things for myself. It's interesting to me, and I wonder if any of you feel the same way as that person who left the comment. Do you just want the loaf, or do you want the evolutionary journey that comes with it? Do you want the skills to be able to apply to other kinds of breads all over the place with shared principles? Or do you just want to make the thing and see you later? Goodbye. I welcome your thoughts. As always, thank you very much for watching. See you again.